diagram is a representation of quality data between two variables. Very important. Its keyword is between two variables. That's the keyword. If in the exam you are seeing the quality conversation by referring to variables, the variables can be any. It can be cost versus resource. It can be cost versus time. It can be resource versus time. It can be schedule versus time. Everything represents quality, right? So if you are seeing two variables, two project variables, and with respect to quality, then they most likely want you to choose scatter diagram. For instance, on this diagram, which is a scatter diagram. So in the scatter diagram, the quality points, data points are represented as a dot with respect to those two variables. For instance, if I say that this is my time scale and this is my number of identified bugs, and the time scale on a day basis. For instance, this is my first day of quality data gathering. This is my second day. This is my third day, fourth day, and so if I say, okay, let's keep the scale as it is. So on the first day, you can see that these are too many bugs identified. Same is the case with second day. You clearly can see that this is a problem. Too many issues or bugs identified in a day's time is a problem, right? Which requires fixation, but before that it requires RCA analysis. A scatter diagram is only a representation mechanism. It tells you where the problem is, or is there a problem. More than that, it doesn't tell you. It's not going to tell you what is the fix. So it doesn't tell you the cause or maybe the solution. It's just a representation technique of your gathered and analyzed data. But if you expect this diagram to tell you that if there's a problem, what's the solution, then maybe you are not going to get the answer. To get your answer, you need to go back. You need to take this problem and go back to the RCA technique, cause and effect diagram, to perform that analysis and get to know your solution, or like the detailed analysis, and apply that fix, and then come back to this and gather represent the gathered data after applying the fix. For instance, if I see the data on fourth and fifth day, maybe some fixes or some solutions have been applied after analyzing that in detail using RCA, and a day later, a day or two later, you are seeing a huge decline in the number of bugs. So how does that happen? It didn't happen using the scatter diagram. The scatter diagram only represented the data 2 days ago, and it's representing the data now. Whatever you have done in between is not done via scatter diagram. It's done via some other analysis technique, maybe trend analysis, maybe root cause analysis, maybe some other kind of diagramming mechanism. But this is only a representation. After applying that, if that worked out, the scatter diagram is going to represent you. If it didn't work out, scatter diagram is also going to represent you the same.